Hey, this is Mark at the Jim and Dan's Comic and Toy Show. I'm here with Jeremy and Jimmy of the Columbus Comic Consultants. Tell me, Jeremy, how is the show going for you today?
Show's going great. People are buying all sorts of stuff. We've been moving like oddball stuff like Archie, and I've sold a bunch of She-Hulk, and I don't know, just a bunch of stuff I wasn't expecting to move today.
Now, was there anything people asking for that you didn't have?
Yeah, there's some modern books. Like we got our stuff is more 2000s and back, so a few people asking for modern things I knew we didn't have, but
So what are people asking for in terms of the more pricier books?
everybody always wants us to pull Spider-Man and X-Men stuff off the wall. Those are sure sellers. I've got an Iron Man that we just sold. I don't know. Actually, we've been selling a lot of Iron Man because we just bought a whole run of Iron Man. So.
And Jimmy, tell us, how did you guys get started doing this kind of comic store?
Good question. We've been collectors for most of our lives and just sort of sold sporadically to kind of add into our own collections. But we had an opportunity last year to purchase an incredibly large collection from one of Jeremy's friends, roughly 40,000 comic books. I like to think that I was a collector who sort of backed into selling and dealing because, we didn't really do this to pay the bills. We did it to supplement our own collections until last year when we came across this massive collection. And so suddenly when you have that many comics in your garage, it makes sense to start doing local shows and conventions to try to move some of that product. So.
You are a barber.
I am.
So you work the comic business like through your barber shop, or try to hook up with people with comics.
Well, I do. I'm actually going to look at a Star Wars collection on Tuesday that a customer of mine saved his friend from selling them to half-price books. So hopefully I'll give him a better deal than half-price books would. And I just picked up a half box of comics from my chiropractor who came in for a haircut. And his girlfriend was selling stuff out of a storage space. And so I gave him a decent deal on a half box of this and that from the 70s.
You have a brick and mortar comic book store, correct?
We do not have a brick and mortar comic shop. We have enough inventory for a comic shop. I have a 3-car garage that's loaded with comic books. But the barber shop is the main thing I do. We do organize our own events. Like I've had the barber shop switched over to do like a day-long comic book sale with other vendors in it before.
Do you have like comic book themes inside of your barber shop?
I'm actually talking to the owner of the shop. I've got a bunch of comic books with barber-themed covers, and we're talking about covering the walls in comic books with, Woody Woodpecker getting his hair cut or Elmer Fudd getting his hair, being tricked by Bugs Bunny into getting his hair cut, So.
Pretty cool. Anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you guys.
Thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it.
And this is Mark at Jim and Dan's Comic and Toy Show.